Hello, and welcome
hello.
people to the Confident Lost podcast. This is what, episode 9?
I believe it's episode 9.
Yeah.
I think it's episode 9. Almost to the big double digits in episodes.
Yep, and today we have a very, very special guest, Chris Cardenas, people.
Hello.
Give it up for him, yes.
Good job on the pronunciation right there.
Yeah.
So I
pretty
appreciate
good.
that.
Alright, so thinking about Chris, a little similar to Jacob. He was supposed to be like a very early on guest.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be one of the first two. He also lives right there.
I am really right next to
right
him.
behind this wall is
he lives
Chris's
right
room.
there next to me, but as much as he claims he's here, he's not here as much, or we don't know that.
I'm
he's
a
here.
very busy man.
but he's here now. He's here now.
He's here.
Right.
Welcome.
So
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
First off, to both of you, how are things? We'll start with Aaron.
So far, I got a job recently. Dealing with kids again, not like that, but
I was about to say.
I'm working at an after school club for them, making sure, and eventually I'll be doing esports for them.
Oh,
And basically I might be doing stuff with them in this college, maybe.
Coach Crafts though.
Coach Kraft.
Yeah, Coach
I'm the
Kraft.
esport Coach Kraft. But
Coach Kraft.
life has definitely been looking up for me. Honestly, things have been good. I've been better mentally, and like with homework and schoolwork, everything's been going a lot smoothly than it was in the beginning. But how are you doing, Chris? How are things going with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm kind of like in the same with you,
Yeah.
except for the job wise.
Job-wise, yeah.
I just work at a big warehouse, deal with like car auto parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, and I've been doing pretty good at school. It's been one heck of a semester,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
say that. So, yeah, I've been doing pretty good.
Well, Chris, we're going to start out. We know you. Everyone else might not know you as much. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Chris?
Who is Chris?
So,
What do you like to do?
on like my free time,
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
yeah.
I see you play games a lot.
Yeah.
You used to play football. Like, how was high school for you?
Yeah.
so basically high school, 10th grade year, it was a good year. I liked my high school. It was like what every typical high school student would say.
Right.
I liked it, but then at the same time, it had its down moments. I will say, though, probably my favorite year from the 3 years I was there, I would say my senior year, for sure.
Senior, okay.
Mhm.
COVID year?
COVID year?
year?
Yeah,
Cool.
it was definitely COVID year.
Why so? Why was the COVID year?
So, basically, the way my school did it is when you had classes,
Mhm.
you would have all the classes you needed.
Right.
So, like, first period through, however, like, 7th or 8th period.
Yeah.
Well, when COVID hit, they didn't really want, of course, that social distancing happening and everything, and they didn't want a lot of people around each other.
Mhm.
So what they came up with is they said to all the seniors who didn't, like, who had, or, like, I don't know how to put it, like, they were close to, like, their credits.
Oh, yeah, so you're pretty
So
much close
if you
to being
needed,
done.
like, 2 or 3 credits left, or
Yeah.
you needed this certain class left, that's the only class you would just need to
Yeah.
take
Oh.
for that
Like,
year.
Like when you were like nearing the finish line of graduating,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, you can take like 2 classes.
Yeah,
You'll be
like
fine.
I remember during the beginning of my senior year. At one point, I remember taking oceanography.
Oceanography. What the hell is
It's basically I know, I know. I said that when I looked at it. I'm like oceanography. It's basically like the study of like
Marine animals, right?
marine animals,
Yeah.
It's like marine
but like it
biology.
really goes into depth of like certain like species in the ocean. So
I
it's
think
not
so,
like
yeah.
you could just look at it and you'd be like, oh, there's like a whale or there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dolphin.
Yeah.
They literally like.
Like they go into detail about everything.
They go into
yeah.
detail, and I thought it was going to be something I enjoyed, which, I mean, it was a cool class, but after hearing that we don't need that certain classes, I'm like, bro,
Like, no.
bye-bye.
Wow, bro. My YouTube is like full of like those deep ocean videos. What is inside the depths of the ocean?
Like what's it the
Unknown
depths?
animals. Yeah, like those hypothetical type of stuff. So that interests me. Right
Yeah.
out the gate, honestly.
Yeah.
What about okay? So now you're here in college.
Mhm.
What are you majoring in?
So my major is criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Yes.
Oh, opposite Chris. What made you want to do
Opposite
criminal
Chris.
justice?
So, the funny fact that you said about that officer, that is like what most people think
Right.
about when I say criminal justice
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
majors. It's the most common, work
Yeah.
you can go into. And that wasn't really my first idea. It was like my plan C.
Yeah.
typically,
yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was going to say at the gate. I don't want to say it before you admitted what it was, but thank goodness.
yeah, no. So really,
mean,
the whole point of me wanting criminal justice or doing criminal justice was I actually wanted to become a detective.
Really?
Like in the crime scenes, like when you watch like the first 48 shows,
Yeah.
those people who respond to those calls and they're
Right.
like on there doing investigations about the murder or whatever.
Yeah.
That was my plan. I've always loved watching those shows,
Mhm.
and
It's cool.
it also kind of my mom kind of inspired me too because
Mhm.
she also wanted to do that,
Yeah.
but she had me,
Yeah.
and that kind of like put those plans to the side.
Yeah.
So it's something I do.
You're
in
like-
like the honor for her.
Yeah, but you're picking up where she left off, basically.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Well,
wanna,
well, I guess that kind of answers my next question, which was like, what are your future plans? Is that kind of what you want to try to
So
venture into?
right now for my future plans, it's like all over the place.
Right.
Like how
I mean,
every
we just got here, but
yeah, it's like how every college student is. You know, they don't know what the future holds. But
Yes.
for me, you know, being the detective is up there. I've also had the chance to see the forensic side of
Mhm.
it. I've also thought about that too. That is also one of my goals too.
Is that like, so is learning that really, of course it's forensics, so it's very analytical. By analytical, how much like, this comes from someone who hates math, how much math is involved in like kind of grasping that whole concept?
So really, the only thing I would say that's like that would put math into there is like stats wise, because that's what I have right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're good with like numbers and
Yeah.
like calculating it a lot, that would be the only situation I would say is like just a lot of stats and
Okay.
probability. There's not really like a 90-degree angle
Yeah.
division
Thank
on the
goodness,
on the
thank
crime
goodness.
Yeah,
scene
it's
and all
more-
that stuff.
it's more like literally the statistics of it, like
Yeah.
what happened, like what was in the count of it, how many of this were involved in it, something
Yeah,
like that.
basically
I
from what
gotcha.
I've gathered.
Well, okay, so let's segue to our next thing. I know you're a big video game guy, or at least you like to indulge in it. I can hear it. All the
Yeah.
time. I'm sure you can hear me too. I like to play my games too.
Yeah.
It's how it is.
Yeah.
But what kind of games do you like to play?
Yeah.
So I actually have two systems in my room.
Okay.
I have my PC. I cannot name it because I'm a PC guy, but I'm not like
I
those
mean, but it's
big
just jumbled
tech-
letters.
Yeah,
you
where I'm
see
like,
X gigahertz 34
this
speed.
is my RTX 3900.
You're not like neat. You're like not like elbow deep in it. Like you're like up to your knees in it. Kind
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Aaron's pretty deep into he's a nerd for real.
I'm kind of into it. Like I feel like I'm on surface level amount because I know the parts of my computer, but I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
exactly like what they do and their like not literally their purpose, but like what goes into making the machine.
I'm in the same boat as him.
PC building is something I want 100%, and I feel like other people would go into given the resources. It just depends on if you have the resources
Oh,
at
yeah.
the time.
I remember.
into
Funny
it.
enough that you say PC building. I actually have a game on my computer
The
that's
PC building.
literally that's meant to like simulate how to build a
building?
PC.
Oh my god!
It's like PC builder simulator.
simulator games are so crazy. Like
I
there's
know.
there's simulator games of everything. I feel like now.
I mean, yeah,
And just as time goes on.
There's like a walking simulator. That
Yeah.
there's like a
Car wash simulator.
Yeah,
Car
lawn
wash.
mowing simulator.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's a simulator where you're like a pressure washer, which is
Yeah,
pretty
low
fun.
key, that one would be satisfying because
that
person
one
watching
is
is satisfying.
satisfying.
That
Honestly,
one is
right?
very satisfying.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I have my PC, and then I also have my. I'm sorry to offend you guys, but I have my Xbox 360 in
Oh,
there.
I got
brother.
Xbox, yes sir, yes sir.
Oh my
well,
god.
actually, funny enough, no, I actually do have Xbox 360. It's at my house. I have my Xbox One
Mm.
over here, which I know doesn't make it any better.
Look, okay, I will admit, I feel like PS5 and the Xbox Series, like the new ones that come out, I feel like now they're kind of going hand in hand. But look, couple words,
Mm.
Xbox Game Pass. That honestly, Xbox Game Pass.
You get a lot of
Because
games.
the thing is, you get that for also PC and Xbox.
Mm.
And they have Bethesda now. They have a bunch of other companies. That's the only one I can remember on the top of my head. But they have they have Activision now. I'm pretty sure.
Well, one word, PlayStation Plus. All you gotta do is build a point online, and you get tons of free games.
That is true. I won't
every
lie. That
month.
is true.
And now they have tiers, so just for $5 more, you get like 40 plus new games like monthly.
Really? I didn't
They
know
add
that.
them.
That's not bad. I didn't know that. That's kind of nice. I like that.
I don't have the highest tier. I have the middle tier, but like the highest tier gets you like PS3 games and like new PS5 games, just ones they release every now and then, just for everyone to play for free.
Yeah, they both have their.
Yeah, they both have their.
They both have their cons and pros, but
I'm not gonna hate. I'm gonna hate a little bit. But I'm not gonna hate all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's that like love kind of thing, like that like hate.
It's the love hate relationship between the console wars.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, your Mac just kind of like, oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
What about competitive games? Do you play Overwatch and stuff? I know you play Overwatch because I tried to play with you. I want to call you out. I'm trying to play with you, but he always ducks playing with me, bro.
Drama here on the
podcast. Okay, hold on. Before
I guess I'm just a terrible guy, guys.
Before this gets bigger, I just want to say, every time you literally message me to play, which is like very few times, I will call you out for that. Yeah. It is like 1 or 2 times he's texted me.
Yeah.
I've literally had a full squad.
He's like, I'm in a full squad. Okay, but it's the fact that I'm throwing it out there for like any future efforts. He didn't mention, I literally texted him because I knew that, okay, he has a full squad. I'm like, all right, just so you know, anytime you need a person, I'm here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I know you've probably been on there.
Draft me. You know
I know you've probably solo queued and been like, I wish I had another teammate.
No, I
know you did, Aaron.
I will. Okay, no.
Especially with Overwatch.
I am never, unless I'm really, really bored. I never solo queue.
Really?
I don't like solo queuing.
I solo queue all the time. I just don't have people to play with.
Really?
Yeah. I have a few people to play with.
I have some. I don't play like...
When you have a few, it's like you only get those certain times.
Yeah. Because they also got lives and stuff like that.
So I will say, the only time I do solo queue games, there's only one game that I will solo queue, and you're all going to hate me for this too, and that's League of Legends.
League of Legends? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I can't
even imagine.
Yeah, it's one.
Well, I mean, everyone's a tryhard, so it's like you're probably not going to get that many sucky people.
I tried dipping my toes in League of Legends. I'm not gonna lie, I maybe had like base 2,000 damage, and the whole match, I was like, it's not that like I hate it because I suck at it. It just seems like there's so much to it that I don't understand. Like, I feel like I'm going to have to pump in, like, 2 days worth of, like, understanding everything about the game.
Yeah.
And then enjoy the game.
I will say, from the times I played with you, the champions you did play happen to be some of, like...
The harder ones?
Not... Typically the harder ones, but they're not requested for, like, newcomers. I mean, take it for granted. I don't know if y'all going to know.
Oh, they're, like, harder to
decided
grasp.
to play Kazik.
Wasn't that that was
the insect one, and he's typically an assassin.
Really? Oh, and I just ran out in the middle.
And and there was times where you would just run out into the battlefield, and I'm just thinking that is not what you're supposed to do.
Listen,
okay.
When we played, that was like the first time I ever played, and I remember just looking at the heroes, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna base it on how cool they look, how many skins they got, and their stats.
Okay, yes, I will give you. He is a pretty cool. He is a cool character. I like him. I mean, to take it for granted, I have a skin with him.
Yeah.
That I did not pay for.
You did not pay for it.
I got it with the coins from that game. Okay.
Really?
Yes, I did. So yes, I do play.
This man right here.
League is like one of those games I just play for fun. Overwatch 2, as of right now, it's been on the rise.
Yeah.
I play that too.
Did you play the new Call of Duty?
I have not played the new Call of Duty. I don't think I'm going to. I do remember saying a while back that I was planning on getting it.
Yeah.
But now...
They're releasing a lot of, like, good stuff for it. I got the Battle Pass. There's a lot of good content on there. Yeah. You can tell they're trying hard.
It's because they realized with, the last game that came out, Vanguard, that they really set the bar low.
I mean, because I think... I feel like that was just a filler game for this game. Because this game feels huge. Like, they're constantly adding, like, more and more to it.
If you really think about it...
having a great time.
If you really think about it, Vanguard was... They used the Modern Warfare engine with Vanguard, and then they added destructible like doors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that was, I mean, unless correct me if I'm wrong, that was it.
I didn't even play.
It was just World War II weapons.
I remember seeing the other people playing that. That's how I kind of remember.
I only see people use those guns in Warzone, and that's all I see. I never see anyone using. Because apparently those guns are not balanced at all. They were just
they're really broken.
Yeah, they're like here's just a bunch of guns.
And even when they try to fix it, it's like they do nothing.
I mean, to be fair, they had double barrel. Like they had a double barrel shotgun that you could dual wield.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, it's
about
cool,
that.
but then in balancing, it's like, where are you gonna put that? How are you gonna hold it like this? Two long shotguns with like the arm strength of a god, just sitting there like this, going. And then how are you gonna reload that?
Sounds like a whole lot of mid to me.
A whole lot of mid.
Yeah,
Oh, that entire game.
whole lot of
Kind of sounds like skill issue towards you.
Sounds skid.
Skill issue.
maybe it is a skill issue. I'm not paying $70 for that.
I mean, take
Piece
it
of
for granted.
trash.
The last Call of Duty game I played was Cold War.
That one was okay.
It was a
It
good
was
game.
okay.
It was like, I'd say it was above average.
I recently went back and realized the skins on there are crazy. Like,
I
there's
know,
a
yeah.
Scream skin. They have, like, different Halloween ones.
Yeah.
They have dudes in, like, suits.
I think it's because with that, they went for a more arcadey style. Because if
Definitely
you really
more
think, okay,
arcade, yeah.
They
I
did.
will give Cold War this. The campaign, work of art. Mwah.
Campaign
Chef's
was pretty
kiss.
good. I like that.
Apparently, though, campaign for the newest game is, like, crazy, too.
That's what
It's
I've been
a lot
hearing
of
too.
money.
Is that
Also
there's
good,
like
too.
there's so much more stuff in it now.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing nothing but like on TikTok and YouTube, just like, oh, it's like Ghost being, it's, you know, that one clip of like I think it's like Soap and Ghost talking. And
The dude looking at him in the van?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and
where
he's-
the whole
he's
meme
like-
just popped up. Yeah, that's a pretty good
hilarious.
one.
Yeah, that's a good meme.
I forget. There was one that made me laugh a lot. It was like some dude that was like, or no, he was like driving his friend home, and you remember he looked in the side, like in the mirror,
Yeah.
and it was the ghost. And he's like, me knowing full well he's about to projectile vomit in my back seat, drunk as hell, and I remember it was like, oh no.
Damn.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Well, guys, Thanksgiving is coming up soon. We're all going to be celebrating that. But
Mhm.
I would like to know personally, or I think it's a good time to educate people.
Yeah.
Is Thanksgiving any different? Is it held any differently in like a Hispanic household, or are the customs any different?
So Thanksgiving in a Mexican household is not really any different
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to celebrating it. Food wise, I mean, it's still the same thing. Everything's really the same thing. I would say the only difference is maybe us Mexicans tend to get more hammered, drink more.
Got to.
Yeah, and then I will say though, like, one of the big things I do remember is like having I don't know if you know, like, these like Mexican sweets.
Oh, like the spicy kind of sweets. I think you know what you're talking about.
Like, I mean, like the bread types. Like
Yes,
fondant,
yes,
those
yes,
things.
yes.
yeah,
My
yeah.
friend has let me try those. Yes,
I think I know what
So
you're talking about.
yeah, typically, you know, we would get those, and I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now I do. Back then, I was not the biggest fan. The only thing I would eat from that, what I call it, is just the Mexican bread store. Because I mean, back then I didn't really speak a lot of Spanish.
Yeah.
I did, but it's not like I was like very fluent.
Because you were born in the U.S. first, right?
Yes. So yeah, because my dad runs from a small town called Alice, Texas,
Yeah.
which is he also speaks Spanish, but my mom, she was born in Mexico, so she's got that like full in her.
Yeah.
And what kind of like not to like throw shade at them, but what really didn't help me with my Spanish was that my dad, when he used Spanish, he used like the Tex-Mex. Like he was like using like the
slang version.
kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I hear a lot.
Like the
with
more,
my
like-
Mexican friends back home.
Yeah, like the more, not modernized, but the more like with some English incorporated ish. If that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of, but it was just like typically if you like use that in Mexico,
Mm.
like they would not like
They wouldn't they'd just be like, why?
like they would understand you, but they'll be like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
Because like that's how my mom was. Like, cause like
Yeah.
my mom was like full blown Spanish, like the correct way and everything. It was
Mhm.
my grandma was the same way, so that's why.
Yeah.
So I'm over here just like, all right, cool. I don't know which one to
Yeah.
absorb, but Spanish is Spanish, I
yeah,
guess.
it's whatever.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So really, the only thing I would get from that Mexican store was, I forgot what it's originally called, but it was literally just a muffin. And the way I remember it is, I would just go to the case and find it, and it had a red like wrapping around it, and that's how I knew. I was like, oh, I need that muffin, bro, because like that was like probably the best sweet
Yeah.
that I had.
Like you saw, was it like glossy in a way? Like it was like shiny, like the red wrapping paper.
Not really. It wasn't like really shiny. It was just like it was so sweet to the point where like it was like actually like acceptable.
Really?
Like it was really good. Like I liked it a lot.
Except
For me, and still to now, I like it
yeah.
still. Now I've like expanded to like other sweets there, and I mean, there's really nothing really different that we celebrate. You know, we just celebrate like it's a normal Thanksgiving.
It's just like probably just the food items and just some of like the celebration.
There's very like there's a couple of like different food items, but obviously it's just the most common: turkey, ham, mac and cheese. You know, coleslaw or not coleslaw, green beans, stuffing, all that stuff, rolls and all that.
So what are like your favorite things to eat or that your family makes personally?
Yeah.
You did say the bread stuff, but like, is there anything they make like? Cook?
They make. I know. One of my cousins, she makes like some fire mac and cheese. It's like really good. I know she makes it. I know one of them makes a dessert. I can't remember what the dessert is.
Probably some kind of pie, maybe. Unless y'all don't really do pie. So, some families are kind of odd. They don't really do like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we don't
anything like
typically do. I mean, we get kind of different kinds of
pies. We
pies.
do pumpkin pie sometimes.
I mean,
was it on screen, sir? Okay. I thought it locked. I was like, what? Anyway, sorry, got distracted. But
like, we do pumpkin pie sometimes. We do pecan pie a lot. The thing about pecan pie is it's not a bad dish, but it's like
it's odd.
It's not good enough to like just eat the whole thing.
It's like an appetizer.
Yeah,
to, like,
so it's like
dish.
I feel like the most it'll be gone is like half. It's never like fully gone.
Or
I feel like
it'll be like the whole pie's like this. It'll be down to like maybe here.
Yeah,
and you'll just throw it in the trash.
I don't know. That's just my opinion on pecan pie.
No, All right. Do you guys want to hear a story?
Yes.
Since we're on Thanksgiving.
Of course.
Okay. So, I would say this is probably, I don't know my number, so maybe like junior to maybe senior year of my high school. So, it was around Thanksgiving time. It happened to be like around my birthday too, which is November 21st.
Okay.
It was like a couple days beforehand. We were going into Thanksgiving break. I remember at that time still I had my wisdom teeth still.
Oh, okay.
I think you already know where this is going.
I know it's going. I know it's going.
So I had my wisdom teeth, and they were like not like hurting me. Like it didn't really affect me like how it would other people, but whatchamacallit, my parents were like, okay, your wisdom teeth are kicking in. This is typically, you have perfect teeth.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been known for, like just
perfect
teeth.
Like
so they're like, obviously if you don't take them out, they're going to just cram together and get ruined.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So, and it's like one of those common surgeries that everybody gets.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so it's nothing to be like that worried about.
No, it's not like I just broke a bone and all of a sudden I need like surgery. No, like this is like, I would say, in my opinion, one of the most common surgeries.
Yeah.
Is just like getting wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah, because like I'm getting mine hopefully in February because I can feel mine coming in. The only other like surgery that maybe would be as common as that, I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
Molar or whatever.
Maybe tonsils because I have
tonsils,
my tonsils. I don't have my tonsils. Do y'all have y'all's tonsils in?
I probably should. I definitely haven't had them taken out because I didn't go to the dentist
I don't
all
have
that
mine
much as a kid.
It was mainly because like as a kid I would go.
Yeah.
When I'd sleep, and then
bro pulled up the deaths.
I remember the day after I got them cut, like I got them removed, and I remember we went home, and like I was fine, like they'd put me under anesthesia, but like I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah, I feel great,
Yeah.
But I remember when I went to sleep, my mom was like, she thought I was dead because I slept like.
Well, it'll help you out, especially like after you like get out of there,
like
home.
I remember she told me, like I asked her about it now because I don't remember anything from that day because that day like all I remembered was like they put me under the gas like all right, and I start counting to 10. I was like 10.
Yeah,
and I remember
literally.
I remember I opened my eyes and I was like, what's going on? And you're like, oh, we're done. I was like, I was on the same pad that they laid me on the first time. I was like, I haven't moved. What do you mean? What's going on?
So I have a question.
What's up?
What is the deal with the people getting under the influence of that stuff and then instantly just spattering out the most secretive
like just
the
first thought.
Yes, bro, like the most every secret you have in your brain, let me just start saying it over and over.
I think it's because anesthesia is like, I feel like it's like, you know when you get like really lightheaded,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's not the bad part of that. Like it's kind of like if you were to be like,
It's probably the euphoric part of it.
yeah, because it's like it feels like your mind is completely empty, and so because of that, all like with the bold, not like, I don't know if anyone else would envision like this, but like the bold words and thoughts that you think of are immediately just thrown out.
Because I'm like, some people say stuff that even Batman's not getting me to admit. Like,
oh yeah,
Superman, Batman, that they not getting that out of me.
And then they put it like,
I feel like it's one.
But
of
yeah, I get it.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, what people say. It's like it's like, you know what people say, like
it's kind of like being drunk too.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's a mix of like being drunk or like under the influence, like marijuana or something.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, cause it's like with marijuana, obviously, like you from what I assume, like you feel like, oh, like you like, oh man, like you feel very like what I've heard from some friends, like you feel like up in the clouds, like you feel very relaxed.
Yes,
But
yes.
I feel like with anesthesia, it's like you feel like that, but you are still able to function. You don't feel relaxed. You feel more like you can function,
everything.
but your brain is like at like 1 megabit per second.
Yeah, you're lagging a little bit.
What were you? But what were you saying with your story? You said you were getting your teeth taken out. And
Okay, so when my mom made the appointment, I was like, okay, so are we gonna have like, when is the appointment? And she's like, well, here's the bad news.
Oh.
The only time they were available to get me through was during Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And I was like, are you serious? And she's like,
you
yes.
what now?
I was like,
Oh, because you can't eat.
I
That's
could
right,
not.
you can't. You got
So-
the things in your.
So yeah, so when so the way it works is like, you know, kind of like what he said. They bring you in, they put you on the table, then they strap you up for the anesthesia, and it's kind of like, I kind of remember. I don't think they did the count to 10.
Yeah.
I just remember. Here's what I remember vividly from that. I just remember laying down, like just like kind of like in like a sofa position like this.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they put the thing over my nose, and I could feel it, like once that thing started turning on and everything and going through my body, I could feel like me just starting to feel relaxed and like feeling nothing.
Yeah.
And what's crazy to this day, you know, every once in a while I think about it, is that when that happened, I don't remember like anything like in that beginning. Like I kind of remember the ride back home.
Yeah.
But like I really thought when I woke up we were about to start. Like
Wow.
they put no, and then they're like, oh no, we're done.
That
And I
must
was
be an
like,
interesting experience. I've never like experienced that
Because
before.
it knocks you out. Like I'm sure from back to like when you had it, you were like you weren't expecting it to work that fast. And then like, did you really have any dreams when you were on anesthesia, or did you just wake up?
It was, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was like that. Like I literally just remember going to sleep, and then I felt like immediately I just woke up.
That's how it felt for me. I mean, the only thing I really remember was the like crusty eye opening, going like,
yeah,
wetting my eyes after being closed like this for like 2 hours.
It's like literally like a video game cutscene.
Yeah, it was like
you just got knocked out.
Like the messed up blurred like like that, and it's just like
it's like that. What's that one game? I'm gonna get like trolled on, but it's like you're awake.
Oh, Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim.
Oh,
you're awake.
You're awake.
You were trying to something with when I don't know. I haven't played Skyrim. In a
Great
hot minute.
Warrior.
Great Warrior.
Yeah, but no,
I never played
with that, it really, like I said, it happened on Thanksgiving, and then it happened to be my birthday that same week.
Wow.
And because the process, the healing takes a while too.
Oh yeah,
because like the first couple of days, you're
I'd
just
be
there like
hot.
in pain.
I'd be hot.
Or
bro.
not in pain, but you're really like, you could like kind of feel a little bit of pain, and
Yeah.
you're very, very limited to food.
Yeah, because it means two things, two food related things. One, you can't eat the food. Two, maybe you can eat it eventually, but either way, you're not gonna be able to eat
It's
it when
not,
it's
yeah,
fresh
it's not worth taking.
and when it's at the best.
You want to know what made it worse too?
What?
I went to Thanksgiving, and I witnessed every one of my family members
you just-
eat right in front of me.
You just sat there like
Like I remember, I was on like the table. Like imagine the table right here, and I'm just like right here, like, and everybody around me is just eating, and I have like maybe like the softest foods you can think
Bro,
of.
so I got mashed potatoes and
I was
I'm
about to say,
being dead
I'm-
serious.
I'm-
That is
potato,
literally mashed
mount,
potatoes
sweet
and like
potato.
maybe that's
a
it.
mountain of mashed potatoes and like 2 things of stuff.
I
Yes,
was so
bro.
so
Oh my
mad,
God.
you know, because like obviously there was nothing we can do, but it just happened to be like the worst possible timing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was probably like the worst Thanksgiving because I couldn't really eat anything.
You think?
It was like taunting you in a way almost. It was just like, oh, here's all this delicious food, and I'm stuck here with this mountain of mashed potatoes and like a smither of gravy.
Yeah. So, That was a painful
Okay.
week.
Okay,
for sure.
Chris. Well, look here. Now we're on to one of my favorite segments. Probably the favorite segment
The
here.
best segment, in my opinion.
It is battle time, my friend.
Versus. Two
We
celebrities.
have our celebrity battles.
Okay.
First match.
Oh.
El Drake versus Bad Bunny. Who wins in a fight to the death? Go.
In a fight to the
In a
death
fight
between
to the
these
death.
two, like in like,
Fists only Thunderdome
Are we talk-
style.
are we talking about like
Thunderdome
UFC style?
Yeah, gladiator style.
Okay.
Thunderdome, who's winning in a
Yeah.
fight to
Okay.
the death?
Oh, to the death.
To the death.
To the death.
One man
Okay.
will sing.
Okay.
One will fall.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny,
Mm.
and the reason why I say that is because I think Drake could hold himself,
You're right.
but I mean, come on.
He's been getting a little zesty with a 21.
That's true.
21. Could
Can
you
you
do
do
something?
I mean, did
for
you
me?
hear? Did you like not like his recent album, but the last album?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to throw shit. I love Drake and everything,
That
but
was
like
dissy,
that
too.
was
That
like
wasn't
a
his best.
sussy. That was a sussy album. And take it for granted, I've seen Bad Bunny. You know, I'm a big wrestling fan, and
Yeah.
I literally saw him.
Oh yeah, you did.
Like not
You
like
did,
in
yeah.
live, but I literally like on TV saw him like wrestle.
That's
so I
true.
feel like he would have that advantage of
Oh,
like
100%.
having
That's
like
true.
the athleticism.
Drake does like work out and stuff. He does like those workout videos.
But I don't
of him,
think
like,
he.
boxing.
I don't think he like. I don't think he ever applies it because it's. I
Yeah.
feel like he just does it for looks.
Because he always let his goons do it. Like
Yeah.
remember that drowned dude that made broccoli? He came out recently and was like, "Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, Drake goons put the beats on me. I ain't gonna lie."
Really?
Yeah, because Drake was talking like he did it, but he just gets the OVO goons to do it. You know
Oh
what I'm
my!
saying?
I didn't know that. What?
OVO Mafia, man. You
Dude,
know what I'm saying?
With that, Bad Bunny's taking that. With
Bad
for
Bunny?
Sure.
I
Bad
would
Bunny.
I would
Bad
say
Bunny?
Bad Bunny
Bad
for
Bunny's
sure,
taking that
100%.
for sure.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought y'all would have had Drake.
No, because like okay, but think about it with this
Everything
recent
that
album.
size.
Seeing as how
Honestly.
he's been like getting right up behind 21 and be like 21. I feel like he's getting a little zesty.
The
he's
memes
gonna,
are
he's gonna
hilarious.
be
Now, if we're gonna talk about like 2014, 2013, back in the day, Drake,
Yeah.
like or like not that because that he was
Like-
still like a little boy.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about like 2018, 2019, maybe 2017, oh, he's got it.
really.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, I would say then Drake,
He was
but
a demon time back
I
then.
Yeah.
can kind of agree with that. Yeah.
because he's got that look in him, like, and especially like the way he looked, like he was like fierce.
Yeah.
And he was just on a roll, so I would definitely give it to Drake back in the day. But right
But
now,
right
I
now,
would
right
give it to
now
Bad
it's not
Bunny.
looking too good for Drake.
Well, according to Chris, Bad Bunny slaughters Drake.
Next up,
Next match. Kenan Thompson versus Hannibal Buress. Battle of the Funny Men. Who wins?
Hannibal.
Okay.
I have my answer locked in.
I have mine locked in too, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Kenan Thompson versus who was the other guy?
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress.
Or is it Buress or Burris?
Yeah,
I think it's
I say Buress. I mean Buress. Probably Buress, man.
Burris.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's Burris.
Okay.
Gucci.
I know this is not fair,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to go with Kenan Thompson because I don't know who the other guy is.
Wow.
Okay, to give you some, I know a bit about Hannibal. He did, you know, the Eric Andre show.
The Eric Andre show.
Just from him being in that atmosphere.
Oh, he's already got-
knows that he can handle.
He's
it.
got endurance out.
Yeah.
He has got as much endurance.
Have you
as
seen the Eric Andre show?
I've seen clips of it.
It's,
Yeah.
So I kind of like
it's so
know.
off the
So
rails.
was he
he's
the-
like the co-host guy. Like you
Yeah.
know, the Fallon show has like the.
Oh,
Jimmy
was he
Fallon
the
has
guy where
co-host
he's
dude.
like, "Why are you booing me?"
Yeah.
Oh,
why you booing me? I'm right.
He's the one where Eric Andre. Is
Okay,
like,
okay, I know who he is. Yeah.
he's funny.
he's the one like Eric Andre is like.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I
No.
think he would win because like Kenan Thompson's just too much of a nice guy.
He does look too much.
He's a
like
good
nice
guy.
He's
He
a
looks
good
too
guy.
He's a good guy.
I
Yeah.
can't see him fighting him. I feel like he
Look
would
at
be.
that smile, man.
Yeah,
He's
I feel like he would be one of those guys where like he'll just be getting beat up and he's like, "Oh, you're doing great. Oh, oh.
Great job, man.
Make sure to hit me right here, please. Leave me a good scar.
So
The way he talks is funny too.
Plus Hannibal just like I feel, like with the Eric Andre show, like he does like they throw him like he got killed and came back to life. I don't know if you said
Yeah.
there was one bit where Eric Andre is like Hannibal Buress needs a bit of an underwear change and then just turns around and just
Oh yeah, okay.
You know
So
what I'm
he's
talking
also
about?
immortal.
Yeah,
so
he's immortal.
Exactly.
He's immortal.
He is,
So
he is,
exactly
he is
what I'm
immortal
talking
in
about.
the Eric Andre canon.
well, according to Chris,
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress rips his heart out.
Hannibal Buress.
Next
up.
round. Taylor Swift versus Addison Rae. Battle of the Blondes. Who wins? Go.
Okay. Okay. Taylor Swift versus Addison Rae. I mean,
I don't know. This is up to you because I actually don't know.
I think I have an answer.
this would be a battle to the death. This would be a good one.
I feel like they both can get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Unless Taylor Swift's about to make another breakup song and fucking rip out her ears, then yeah, I would say her. But I would say, honestly, it's a 50.
Because I feel like Taylor Swift is that girl that a lot of people like kind of don't. A lot of girls wouldn't like because she's like that popular pretty girl, so they want to fight her, but she hasn't really had to fight herself because she has that status.
I feel like she's got some of that, like, Taylor's probably got some of that, like, rage in the back of her head.
Oh, like that crazy girl?
Yeah.
I could see that.
And
Crazy
I feel
rage.
like Addison does not
doesn't have that.
Because she's basically, like, she's pretty much been handed stuff her whole, like, she has her TikTok that basically...
What you mean, bro? All skill, baby.
All skill, man.
I feel like Taylor, plus I'm pretty sure Taylor has a height advantage. Isn't Taylor, like, 6
I
foot
think
tall?
she does.
Like, she's tall.
So, honestly, this is a very close one. And because take it for granted, Addison, I mean, yeah, even though she's done, like, all these, like, you know, like what Aaron said, she's been handed these things. I will say, though, like, Addison does have, like, I think background in, like, gymnastics, I want to say. Or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, she might have, like, the flexibility part.
Yeah.
But honestly, if it comes to, like, power and everything else, I would have to give it to Taylor Swift.
And with Taylor, so Taylor Swift is 5'10", Addison Rae is 5'6".
Ooh.
So Taylor's got 4 inches on him.
Huge.
But I still feel like Taylor would whoop her because I feel like Taylor has probably been through some stuff. Yeah. And to the point where she's battle hardened. She knows what she's gonna like. She knows that the day she's gotta fight someone, unless she has already, she's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I felt like
she's gonna go crazy.
So I'm gonna have to go Taylor Swift.
Go Taylor.
This one.
According to Chris, Taylor Swift wins by way of decapitation.
Oh.
Next match, championship round. Will Smith
versus
Jamie Foxx.
Alright, I'll say this right now. If Jamie Foxx makes a joke about his wife, easily Will Smith,
he's gonna bring
negative
up the
difference, nothing.
God slap.
Literally one slap and he's done for. But I mean, okay, in all seriousness, Jamie Foxx. This isn't without a deer. I mean, Jamie Foxx has been in movies where he.
What can he not do?
Exactly.
He literally can do everything.
Dude is built.
Wasn't he? He was about to be in a. Well, he's going to be in a Mike Tyson movie.
Yeah.
Well, look. Here's the thing. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali back in the day.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx will play Mike Tyson soon.
Wait. Are we talking about them? We're talking about them currently right now.
I guess. I mean, they're both old. They're both literally around the same age.
I mean, yeah, but
Will Smith recently. I don't follow the dude and like check up on his daily life, but I know that he's been going through a bit of like a setbacks in like his body weight and stuff. Like he's been working out, he's not at the athleticism that he once was at. Like when he did like Hancock, I Am Legend, like all those other movies. When he was a bit more like not heavier set, but when he was a bit more like
he's pretty in shape.
He was in shape. And Jamie Foxx, I think you could.
He's always been in shape.
You could grate cheese on that dude. Like you could take a cheese roll and go on his. No homo, but you could take a cheese grate on his abs and you'd get shredded cheese.
He was in an action movie like recently too, like a zombie action movie. You gotta be.
So it's like I feel like Jamie Foxx.
I would give it to Jamie Foxx, honestly, 100%.
Jamie Foxx for sure.
Yeah.
So Jamie Foxx wins by way of fatality.
Fatality.
That's gonna end it.
The quick segment.
Next, we have another segment. Milkmen. We're going to ask you your top 5 white people, Chris.
My top
what?
five?
Your top 5 Caucasian.
My top 5
people.
white people.
Top 5 white people.
Okay.
And so what this means, this is kind of a weird question. Not really. So it's basically, give us your list of your most favorite white people who are just, they can be cool, they can be charitable, and or both. But them being white is like a big part of their identity.
And it doesn't have to be in any particular order. If you have a certain order, then you can put it there.
Yeah.
But if you just have like my top 5 in no particular order, that is acceptable.
Or not that being white is a big part of their identity, but it is a vital factor.
Yeah.
So
Like,
does it have
mine
to
would
be
like Will Ferrell, Jack.
Okay, I was about to ask that. I'm like, does it have to be
John
people I
Cena
personally
on there.
know, or can it be like celebrities that I just like?
Anybody.
Okay,
anyone.
Okay, so, yeah, Will Ferrell is up there. He's a funny dude, and that dude literally just screams out, "Why?"
Yeah.
So he's definitely up there.
Yeah.
My second, I mean, this is no order. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
so
no
second,
order.
I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna take a while to think about. Second would be.
You don't got John Cena out there? You wrestling fan? Any wrestlers?
Jack Black, maybe.
Randy Orton?
There's a lot of.
It's such an odd, like, I've started noticing this every time we've asked this. It's such a question that you feel like you would have off the top of your head, but when you're asked it, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
My mind literally went.
I don't know.
Like, wow, who are my favorite
Yeah,
milkmen?
because it's like you know a bunch of them. It's just like it takes a
Doesn't
second.
have to be men either, by the way.
Yeah, it could be
No, I
men,
know.
women.
I'm
Gender
trying
neutral.
to think.
Gender
No,
neutral.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's like name 5 white people. And I'm just like,
Who are yours, Aaron?
Mine, I'm pretty sure mine were similar to yours. It was like Will Ferrell, Jack Black. Oh my God! Like I just said earlier, thinking about it right now, I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
John Cena's up there for me too.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, Jack Black. I'm pretty sure I said John Cena as well.
I say Jim Carrey on mine, too.
I was all, oh my God! It was like, I keep trying to remember.
You say Larry David.
I think I did say Larry David. I think I
I
said
say Larry David. Or
We'll go back and fact check this later, but.
Jimmy, pull it up.
Jim, pull it up on the screen. But I'm pretty sure it's. I know Jack Black's in there. I love Jack Black, dude. I would take a bullet for Jack Black.
Of course, who wouldn't?
Oh, I just have one. I know his first name's Brandon. Who's the guy that played the Mummy?
Oh, Brendan Fraser?
Yes. He is up there for sure.
He is pretty cool. I've noticed he's a pretty cool guy. I saw him in Doom Patrol.
Yeah, he's like.
That's what I've seen.
I mean, like, of course, I never met him, but like, he
Yeah.
looks like
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the sweetest guys to ever walk on this planet Earth. I mean, like, literally. I mean, you see him now. Like, he's like a big. Of course, he's gained weight, and that's because like of old age and all that everything.
Yeah.
One of mine is also Elton John. Would be one of mine too.
Elton John,
I fuck with Elton John. Cool dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of females, honestly.
Real quick question? What was the one dude that like? Oh my God, he Oh my God, what was his name? He's got like brown hair. He's like he looks like Conan O'Brien, but he's not Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien's up there too for me.
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say Conan. Yeah, Conan's up there.
Dude,
for me,
oh
too.
my God,
Conan's
I
up there
watch
for me, too.
his like I
Conan
don't
might be
really like
number
watch
one,
his night
actually.
shows, but on Netflix
I've watched all of this, like on YouTube.
Yes, I watch
clips.
his
I
shorts.
all
I
of
will
those.
say though, my favorite clips with Conan O'Brien. Well, okay, let me say this. For one, I think out of all the night talk host shows, I think he's probably one of my favorite
Yeah,
ones.
he's definitely the most likable. He seems the most like likable and genuine to me.
Yes.
He's like very natural.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and my favorite clip of him, like that he posts on YouTube short, or like not shorts, but like videos wise on YouTube, I would say there's so many. Like I would literally watch him like 50 times every once in a while because it's so funny. And I would
Yeah,
always
bro,
laugh at it.
he's a funny dude.
Like I think
I like his public stuff where he like does stuff in public.
yeah, that I was about to say that. So most of it.
He'll work as
so
somebody for a day.
I will say definitely my favorite one I think is the one where he collabed with, Ice Cube. And
Was it the
Kevin
dri-
Hart.
the-
Oh,
It was the
my
one
God.
where he was helping
The driving
his
student?
workers. Yeah. There was that one. That
That's a
one was
great
up
one.
there. That's on my top 3. Another one in my top 3 was the one where he also collabed with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, but they went on a like kind of like an Uber. It wasn't officially Uber,
Yeah.
but it was a driving app.
Yeah.
And they did that, and that was just hilarious.
Yeah.
The third one, I know there's a third one. I would say up there, maybe up there for sure, is when he did the spying on his coworkers about like this foodies list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, like that. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm trying to remember, dude, because there's some. I know that the one where he went to a beach. There was one where he went to a beach where like the water is like I want to say like 50% like salt, I think. So it's like literally impossible to drown. And I remember the one scene I remember is where like apparently like if you cover yourself in like mud, it's like something. And he does that.
Oh.
And he went up to this woman, like this female, and he's like, "Do I look hotter now? With covered like now that I'm
I
covering
think I've
this?"
seen that clip.
And
I know what
she
you're
was
talking
like,
about.
she's like, "I liked it better when you were like white." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude, that's hilarious." So yes, Conan O'Brien for sure is up there. He's like one of the most hilarious
That's nice.
talk show host.
Real quick, I want to make a change to mine that I wish that I know this dude isn't on mine. Robin Williams.
Oh yeah,
Robin Williams is the.
Robin
I
Williams.
love Robin Williams.
I think he's the definition of GOAT when it comes to like comedy.
Oh yeah, I'm
100%.
pretty sure
up
I've
there
said
for,
him
like-
on a previous episode before.
I think I've said him. I think I thought about
Not on
it.
the Ashley episode because we were talking about mental health and what he had to deal with.
Yeah, just because he's done so much. Like I remember, like I specifically, I think we actually talked about this in the last couple. Like I forget on, I think it was on Ashley's episode where Robin Williams would stand outside with like while he wasn't like acting or anything like that. He would go to homeless shelters and sign autographs and talk with them.
I remember that.
And then there was another thing that he did with oh my god.
Mine's a chimpanzee thing. Him just can't talk. Befriending that gorilla. Was it a gorilla or a chimpanzee?
Oh no, wasn't it like I think he did a comedy bit a while after that where he was talking about it was like a female gorilla.
Yes.
And the female gorilla was trying to mate with him.
Oh, exactly.
Like,
I didn't know that. That's funny.
The gorilla knew sign language, and I remember he sign languaged him to take his shirt off, and then like took his hand and started walking away, and he was like on the comedy bit, he was like, "You can't say no to a 200-pound gorilla,
right?
Because they'll rip your arms off." And so it was like. I remember he was like, stop, leave me alone, help. And then everyone was like, oh, there she goes again. oh, there she goes.
There's Gloria.
There's Gloria.
Good classic Gloria.
I think her name was like...
She rips his face off.
Yeah. I think the gorilla's name, oh my god, I have it saved. That's how, it was so funny that I saved it. I think it was like, what was it? I think it was Coco, the gorilla, I think.
Oh, now that he says it, there's something familiar.
I think it was Coco. I think it was Coco. I could be wrong, but... yeah, I remember that bit got a lot of traction. It was just so funny because it's like, what can you do in that situation?
Yeah, I mean,
you got
can't
like
do shit about
you
it.
gotta like.
I'm terrified of like chimpanzees or like gorillas. Like
they're really strong.
Yeah, because they get they get stressed highly enough.
They'll go crazy.
They can go really
on a
crazy.
rampage.
And it's like you would think like, oh, it's this tiny like cute and cuddly gorilla or like orangutan or like chimpanzee.
Can be
like they're cute, but then one wrong move and they're ripping your fingers off.
Yeah, one wrong thing.
Like they are strong. I mean, think about it. They literally climb trees and like jump around trees with ease. How should like if we try to do that, like all the three of us just went to like a random forest or like like some like a little like jungle gym thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we would all be winded within 20 minutes trying to like swing like that all the way back and forth.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of zoos, do y'all have a favorite animal? That you just,
A favorite animal?
Yeah.
I
like
penguins.
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 I like zebras and penguins is a good one actually.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking.
Personally, honestly, I'm gonna go with an overrated pick, the brown bear.
Brown bear.
Because as much as they like
tame bears are very cool.
They're pretty cool.
Before I die, I want to hug a brown bear.
I do too.
I feel
think
like
that's
I'd
how
be
you
down to
are
do
gonna
it.
die.
Oh no!
Is
Well,
if you get
I'm gonna
mauled
go
by
like
that
this,
brown bear.
and then the bear's gonna go.
So you're gonna cheat dream and then also
we should do that for a video.
For a video, be like we go to the zoo, like completely lost on the move.
Yeah.
I think surprisingly, though, brown bears are considered I think they're considered like the second most dangerous bear species.
Some black bears, I think.
No,
or
I
polar
think
bears?
grizzly. No, so funny enough, I'm gonna throw this back a bit. I don't know if y'all. I'm gonna bring this back. Childhood memories during school, elementary years. Remember the book fairs?
Yes.
So I remember during the book fair, they had this book that I saw, and it really caught my interest because it was like learning about like. I think I still have it at my house, but I would have to dig deep into like the box full of books that we put up.
Yeah.
And it was basically like a kind of like a long, skinny-ish book where it was basically like I think it said like the top 100 most dangerous animals on the planet. And I remember.
Wait. Was the book itself like a weird jungle green?
I think one of them was like a jungle green color. I think the one I had was kind of like a caution yellow hazard sign.
I remember those books.
Because I think the book cover had like a spider in it or something like that.
Did it? I think I know what you're talking about. I remember.
I mean, it went into depth on like some like. I remember when I first it's not really like a reading thing. The reason why I fell in love with it is because it was like simple. Like you name it shows you the picture, it shows you what it's dangerous for, it tells you how dangerous they can be. And I remember because that's where I learned most of the insects and I think it wasn't even mostly insects. I think there was like maybe a plant or two in there, if I remember correctly. Where some but I know most of them. And I do remember seeing like how the brown bear I think was considered the second or third most dangerous bear.
Yeah.
Above
polar bear's probably one, right?
Polar bear is
I
up
think
there,
so.
but
Polar Bear's
they
surprising.
named the top 5. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's up there. But yes, but I
Or at
would
least
say.
now it definitely
But I
is.
was gonna say polar bear. I mean, they're dangerous, but obviously, brown bear and black bear and grizzly bears, especially grizzly bears,
Grizzly
they're.
I think the reason polar bears are so dangerous is because of their weight, and
Yeah,
also
they're
because
big.
of their.
But I feel like the
boys.
but I feel like the reason why they're not also dangerous is because they're not like.
They don't,
It's not like I can go out to a forest and like, oh look, a polar bear.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because
They're
this
like-
isn't like an opinion thing. It's just like off of like lists or like
Yeah, 'cause it's like-
statistics and stuff.
Because it's
But-
like when I think it's like polar bears, like they see us as like threats and they want to avoid us
Yeah.
more often until provoked. But with like a grizzly bear, black bear, brown
Oh,
bear,
no,
Yeah, like if I
It's
saw
all
one
like
of them,
they-
yeah, I'd be way more scared of one
they-
of them
like
than a
they-
polar bear. Even though
they've
it's
seen
more
us so
dangerous.
much, and I feel like it's been passed. Like, not to get super into depth, I don't know if this is true or not, but like that idea of it being passed down, because I know animals also have those thoughts. They also like make decisions. Like,
Yeah.
they might not be the best, but you know they still make decisions.
Yeah, like just instinctively, because
Yeah.
not every human decision is like a human decision. Some are
Yeah.
like just instinctive things.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to think about it. It's like also too like the bears. I mean, they have their cubs,
Yeah.
so it's like they're doing like what they're meant to do,
Yeah.
like what us like
Like we're-
dads or moms out there are doing is
Yeah.
protecting their cubs, aka like protecting their children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's
It's
understandable.
just
And
instinctive.
if
It-
that, yeah, I know
So
it's good.
that's why it's like people are like, oh, just don't go out there and mess with them,
Yeah.
obviously, because then you're gonna have some dumbass people just gonna go out there and like provoke
Yeah.
the bear or something like that.
Also,
But,
it's a bear. That thing is like two. Like I'm pretty sure when a bear stands up on its hind legs, it is two. Like I think it's like two of me in height. I
That's
think.
it's really it can get
No,
really
bro,
tall.
they're huge.
They're
Very
big,
huge.
but like you
Big.
like the pictures and videos don't do it justice because like I'm pretty sure if a bear were to be like in this very room with us, its back like
It would
on its
fill up.
all
Yes,
fours,
because they'll
it would be
say
up to like here.
yeah, because they'll say they can weigh up to like upwards of like 800 pounds,
I think almost
900
a
pounds.
thousand.
They big
Yeah.
boys and they eat a lot.
Yeah, like a ton. So I'm like, bro, imagine like you don't understand how big a ton is until
Until
a
you
ton
see
of like a
it.
compact animal. That's like a car, a big
Yeah.
car. We have it like in a compact animal. That means there's a lot of meat on it.
Oh yeah, a lot of
And
fat,
it's
a lot
like-
of meat, a lot of
yeah.
bones.
I
On the
want
bone.
to find out how in the hell you're gonna get a grizzly bear in
Listen.
this room. That's what I want to see.
I have listen. There are ways. We have connections.
We
some
do have connections.
You
We
better
will have
have like
connections.
50
Break-
tranquilizers
break
on,
now.
the
50
way,
tranquilizers.
on the side.
Hey,
Hey,
one of
hey,
those
listen.
dark
I don't know if you know, but we had a guest called Braden on here, and we sent him off to save the world.
Yeah.
He now has connections with the Justice League now.
He's
I wouldn't
been,
doubt it.
If
He
we
said-
need the tech,
he sent us a snap, chilling with Martian Manhunter.
yeah, like if we need the tech, you know what I'm
he's-
saying.
He's just chilling with me.
But with that being said, the only bear I'm fucking with is Yogi. Am I right? Anyway, Chris, what's your most embarrassing childhood memory?
My most embarrassing childhood memory I can think of. I mean, of course, there's quite a few.
Like what? Like one.
Well, like what's like the dumbest thing where you look back and think, "Wow, why did I do that?
Like
What was I
wish-
thinking?"
yeah. Like I wish I could go back in time and slap the shit out of myself.
Okay. Can it be like actions or can it be decision making as
Anything.
well?
Literally anything.
That I
And
feel,
I mean,
I feel like
like,
both of them are
like-
similar, but
like
anything.
what you
Because
can,
the way you said it, where it's like, if you could travel back in time and slap the younger self and be like, dude,
Don't
why
do
did like
that.
what? Not don't like the way I had it is like, why didn't you go for it? Or like, why didn't you do it?
you're like dumb more as like you had the clear.
Okay,
option,
oh
you didn't
yeah,
take
that is kind of different. Okay, you can
Yeah,
do both.
you can do
do
both,
that, but
yeah.
also do like a decision that you made that, in turn, was like a terrible decision that had consequences,
it. Yeah.
Oh,
or
okay.
or that had some type of consequences.
Okay,
that made you
okay.
feel
So
like, damn.
I'll give you the I'll do the decision one for last,
Okay.
which
Mhm.
because it has to do with like a kind of like
Whichever was longer, say it
yeah.
last.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the quicker one, dumb decision. I can't remember. I know I was like in my younger ages, like under 10. It was around the World Cup. So we were watching. My family were watching the World Cup. I think I remember
Is that happening again this year?
it is happening. It's
Yeah.
coming up this.
I've seen something about Messi and Ronaldo going against each other in the World Cup, or that being a possibility. I don't know
Really?
shit about soccer.
Yeah.
I don't know anything
That's
about
fine.
either.
But I remember it. I can't remember the other team, but I know one of them was Argentina. And so, little me didn't really know, a lot.
Yeah.
I was just playing around soccer. First of all, I was playing soccer. I had a soccer ball, and I was just dribbling around in the house. So, yeah, that's a no-no right there for
Yeah.
number one for parents. But obviously, they, didn't see a big deal because it's not like I was, going, Messi on them and, kicking the shit out of it or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But what I ended up doing that I would say, why did you do that? Because even I would have thought I knew I shouldn't have done that. Is for some reason we had a table in the corner, kind of like this, and there was an edge where it was like decently sharp, kind of like this, but maybe a little bit like narrowed down but sharper. Well, what I ended up doing is I guess I just completely ignored the table and said, "Oh, I'm on a soccer field. Let me do this halfway 360 spin, kick it like I'm kicking it to one of my teammates." And what I ended up doing is I fell. But when I fell...
Wait, it's like one of those leaping kicks? Like you...
No, like it was kind of like one of those side kicks where I did like this and
like
I fell.
Like that?
And kind of like that. But what ended up happening is that with the table there, I hit my head on the corner of the table.
Oh.
Ew.
And...
Oh, like the sharp corner?
Yes,
board?
I hit that. So... I know they can't see it very well, but if you look at the back of my head, I have a scar.
Yeah, I see it. I do see it.
Look that. Oh, I see it. Yeah.
So I basically have a scar, and that is where like that happened. And I just remember, like as soon as I got up, I just started feeling the pain of that. I was just crying my eyes out. God. And I remember, they were like my parents were trying to get me to like so like, oh, what happened, and then my first instinct was to run into their room and jump on the bed and just roll around for some reason. I don't know, because I was like in so much pain, so like really
you just wanted to
I don't know, I was just like yeah,
like
but and then when that happened too, I was like, oh my, this was like before I discovered we had skulls, so I was like, oh my god, can I touch my brain? So
you went.
No, I didn't like fully touch it in there. I just felt it. Yeah, where I could feel like the cut. Yeah. So they wrapped me in a towel. They put the towel around my head. We went to the hospital. When the doctor saw it, they said, "Okay, it's not that big of a cut.
Yeah,
but it's a deep cut." And I was like, okay.
It would be a deep ass cut.
It was they said, from what I remember, I think my parents told me it was a deep cut.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So I remember I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Because I was like, oh, I got to get stitches and all that stuff. Well, I didn't end up having to get stitches. Mm-hmm. What I ended up having to get was, and I'm not going to lie, this kind of scares me to this day, because what they ended up giving me, if I remember correctly, I think they ended up giving me some type of glue. Like this strong glue.
For like your hair? Your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to like just
meld the skin
like
together.
Hold it together and everything. I'm just scared that one day like it's just gonna like
melt.
Like, yeah, and it's just gonna start spreading. But like, so that was definitely one of my dumbest decisions. Because every time now when I get, and that's why I kind of don't like getting haircuts every once in a while. Yeah. Because it's like unless people know about the story, then they don't question. But if it's new people I meet and they're like, oh, why do you have you're balding, why do you have that bald spot? I'm like, no. Then I have to explain to them, and I'm like, this is too much.
But before I had my dress, I usually get like a taper fade or have like shorter hair, and on like the top of my noggin here, there's like I have like a bump. I really don't know where it came from. It definitely came from when I was like a baby or something. Maybe I fell on my head or something. But it's like a bump on the top of my head. So my hair's like shaved. You can kind of, it's not bald right there, but it's like where you can, if you look, you
like
can
if you go like
damn,
that,
there's
you
a little,
feel it,
yeah, like broke out a little bump on the noggin right here.
A little bump on the noggin.
But now that I got dressed, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can't see nothing.
The only thing compared to that I have is this scar right here on my forehead.
Yeah,
so oddly enough, that happened with like, that was kind of something with you, like with, it was like an issue with, not an issue, when I say issue, it was like a story with like how you did, like you thought you could do something and you went like, and like hit it.
Yeah.
So this happened when I was like 1, or like, I was young.
Oh wow.
I was young.
So you were like a baby.
So I was like I was just starting to walk, and I remember my parents dropped me off at my Mima's house. And it's the same, I'm pretty sure it's the same house I still live in now, I could be wrong. But I remember, I don't remember what I did. I just remember what my Mima did. Yeah. Apparently what happened is she left me alone for like 2 minutes to go get some in the kitchen. And apparently, like, you know how fireplaces, like they have that like brick, like
put it in.
What is the science behind nosebleeds?
I don't know, because I
get
know
that.
That
is so weird to me. Your nose just starts protruding blood.
It could be. Has your nose been feeling really dry?
Kind of, yeah.
That's probably why, because of how cold it is. Sometimes a dry nose.
The cold does affect it a lot.
Like if a really dry nose, sometimes that will like there will be cuts like when you breathe, because it's the skin moving back and forth. Sometimes the skin will just kind of. I think I could be wrong about that, but are you good?
Aaron Craft, the science guy.
Do y'all want to? Do you just want to blur? We can just blur it. I feel like I don't know if YouTube will be weird on it, but
it's fine. It's fine. Right?
I mean, to be fair, I won't lie. I was picking at this earlier, and it bled a little bit. So I was like, I don't know if y'all noticed. I was like, but are you good?
Yeah,
y'all?
we can go.
Okay.
All right, so now that Mr. Bloody Nose is taken care of, what's the second decision-making story you had? You're right.
So the second one, okay. So this was back in, I want to say, really decision making happened in junior high. It's kind of like it's like every anime ever. It has its story. It started back in like elementary.
Yeah.
Where basically, I'm not gonna lie. This is like one of those stories where it's like, dude, I will honestly beat you up. You had the chance and you didn't go for it. Basically, what happened is,
Fumbled.
I knew this certain girl who I'm not gonna name. I knew this certain girl and I didn't know she had feelings for me. So let's say like this was back. So I found out in 6th grade, you know, that she had feelings for me. Well, I was one of those guys where it's like I wasn't like a total like douche.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those guys. But you know how you are when you're junior high. Once you start getting into junior high, you start.
You're a dude.
You start acting like, oh, you know,
guy.
oh, I'm tough, everything. I don't give a damn about rules. You know, I don't care what my teeth. No. So it was just like a phase everybody went through.
Yeah.
So I remember I wouldn't like make fun of her like in a bad way. I would just be like one of those where it's like oh, you know, haha, all that stuff. Like just mess around with her
just
a lot.
banter, just being like going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, you a bitch.
So
oh, you a bitch.
no, okay, I wouldn't say that.
Oh yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, what ended up happening is it wasn't until I think 7th grade-ish year we kind of started talking a bit. It wasn't until 8th grade. I remember this vividly. It was 8th grade year. We started talking. Funny enough, the way I found out that she actually liked me was we started texting each other. I remember I was going back home, and she texted me, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to play 20 questions?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Sure," because I'm just going back home, so I ain't got nothing. So sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So we started playing 20 questions. And at one point, she asked me, she's like, "So who's your crush?" I was like, because I think at that time too, I developed a little crush on her.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say her.
Yeah.
So I was
you panic and you're like, oh.
So I said like another girl that I technically liked, but I wasn't like, oh my god, you know, I want to date her. So I was like, oh, I said her, and she's like, oh, okay. And then I think I asked her, and we asked like
that same way one time actually, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
And then then we asked a couple more questions. Then I pulled it back on her, and I was like, okay, then who is your crush? And she's like, oh, and then she wouldn't tell me straight up.
Okay.
I had to play like goddamn like charades, and I had to figure out myself.
And then you realize you're like,
literally, I had to pinpoint it down how like whatchamacallit, like I had to pinpoint it like specifically.
Yeah.
Like I remember I would say like, oh,
T.
is he? Because we had math class together too, and I was like, oh, is he in our math class? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, is it this guy? No. Is it this guy? No. Is it this guy? No. Is it this guy? And she's like, maybe. I was like, okay. And at one point, I'm like, wait, I didn't say one person. And that was me. So I was like, is it me? And she's like, she didn't say anything. And she's like, is there anyone around you? I'm like, funny enough, there actually was people around me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, it's our roommates.
Yeah, I was like,
and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Which was a total lie, because there was like a decent amount of people.
yeah.
And she's like, okay, well technically it's you. And I was like, oh. I didn't say that message where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but you were like, oh.
Yeah, and that in my mind I was like, oh. I was like, oh shit. Like she really likes me. So like literally, like I had the clear sign and everything. It got to the point.
I mean, did you do anything like to pursue it?
Here's the funny part.
Okay.
We're getting to the juicy part now.
Okay.
The juicy part.
It got to the point where like one of her friends. Oh my god. Okay. I literally I remember I texted her, And I technically asked her out over phone. I was one of those guys where I was so scared to ask over out on phone.
It's
Because it's like, I mean, yeah, when you're like 13, 14 years old, you
high
know,
school,
typically you don't have the confidence, you know, that some people would do right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to get that confidence a bit, but it's not like, but back then I had no confidence. So I had the mentality where it's like, oh, even if I ask her out, she's going to say no. I'm like, I had that ready.
Yeah.
Like, I already knew, I just had that ready. Even if she said yeah, I was like, oh, she's going to say no. Well, I remember I asked her on the phone, and she's like, she's like, it doesn't feel special over phone. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, so she would rather ask me out, like, her out on person. It got to the point where, like, I didn't do anything. I did not ask her out or anything.
Did you were just kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know.
No, like, I actually wanted us to be a thing, but, like, here...
You just you just couldn't commit to the action of doing it. Like, you
I
wanted
couldn't,
to...
like, even it got to the point where, like, one of her, like, best friends at the time, she was like, look, she's like, you know she will say yes even if you ask her. And I'm like... She's like, so, because she was like, just ask her. She's going to say yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Because, like, I don't know. But I will say, though, here's the other thing on this side. And it's going to be, like, more, like, on a serious type.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I really didn't commit to that relationship, or I didn't want to, is because you know people since you were, like kindergarten, like, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, you know people now, and then you still have, like, or let me put it this way. Look at all the friends you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you could be like, you could try to pinpoint, like, oh, I've known that guy since kindergarten.
Right.
Which is very limited.
Right.
Because it's like,
Those
either
are
they move or, you know, they go to a different school, but it's like they're out of touch. It's like, basically, once, like, I want to say after high school, is where, like, you're just going to have new friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's very...
Yeah. That's accurate.
I wouldn't say very rare, but it's like a little rare where you're gonna have friends that you know or people you know since like elementary years.
Yeah, like the same friends you had back then won't be your friends or they won't be your friends to the same extent. As they were back then.
But they'll still kind of be there.
Yeah, they'll be there. And
so
you'll be both mutual.
So the thing about her is like, I've known her. I mean, till this day, I know who she is. And like,
To this day.
Yeah, we're cool and everything. But, like, I've known her since, like, kindergarten. So, like, we've known each other for, like, what would it be, like, 18, 19 years-ish?
Starting from kindergarten?
Yeah. Or actually, 13.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe
13 or
14.
14.
14, yeah.
Yeah, kindergarten, because it's 12, and then, 13 or
but
maybe
13
14-ish.
roughly. Yeah.
So we've known each other for, like, almost, like, our entire school year life. And it was one of those friendships where it's, like, I saw her as a good friend. Like, I saw her as, like, one of my, like, best friends in a girl-wise.
Yeah, because you have that, like, oh, I've known her for so long kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I've known her for so long, you know, and...
You're so used to her as
And
your
I remember
friend.
at one point we were like, you know, this is kind of weird because we were seeing each other as, like friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, you know, we would say, like, it's just kind of weird how, you know, the way we're just, you know, talking to each other is, like in a romantic way.
I mean, do you feel like it was ever that serious back then to the point where that could be a problem now?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you got to think
because
about...
it's high school.
You also
Well,
got... Yeah.
It's not that just because high school means it's not serious. It could still be serious.
No, it wasn't. This wasn't high school.
Typically,
This was junior high.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Well,
And plus,
yeah.
Still the same thing. But
with
yeah.
with what he was saying, it's like back then with the knowledge, like, okay, from the knowledge you know now about relationships and love, back, like, looking at it back then, there's no way you would have the exact same amount of, like, knowing that stuff from back then. Like, do you get what I'm kind of saying?
No.
Yeah.
I've definitely, like, learned more.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, grew more. So, like, obviously I know what to say, what not to say, and what to do and what not to do and all this stuff.
right.
Like, I mean, take it for granted. Or, I don't know. I mean, have you guys said that we're in a fraternity?
What?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of?
Well...
You can be. It's not a secret, yeah.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, I mean, in our
fraternity,
fraternity, we're having our formal, and you know, I remember back then, I don't think I would have ever asked, ever asked or like had the guts to ask a girl like, oh, you want to go to the dance with me?
Oh yeah.
And then now it's to the point where like I'm still nervous like
Mhm.
on asking a girl, but it's like I've gone a bit of more confidence to the point where it's like
Why so?
You're more
Is
hardened.
it because of experience, trial and error, or because of just personal?
it's basically like
confidence
what
over
people
the
say.
years?
You learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
You know, all
Yeah.
that stuff. You just learn from your mistakes.
I feel you.
So I will say though, I remember that was one of the moments where I kind of like, it's still one of the things I like think about every once in a while. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you could have like, you know, and I found her very, you know, the way to describe, this is the way I would describe girls is there's like certain ways you can describe girls like pretty, cute, hot, all that stuff, you know, and each one has a different meaning. So, you know, for like, you know, you could say like, oh, that girl's hot.
Yeah.
I would say that, but I wouldn't say that to someone I actually care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if it was just like some
it can
random
be taken
girl.
differently.
Yeah. So I feel like each word that I use has a different meaning. So like, of course, I wouldn't say she was hot. I would say that she was like, just like, in all honesty, she was like, at that time, I found her like very attractive because she liked who I was. I liked who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like that bond that we had where it's like,
Yeah.
you're not having this like fake mentality or personality.
Yeah, it's very real because you appreciate you appreciate her attributes, her like personality kind of beat. Is that what you're trying to get at that?
Yeah, basically she appreciated for who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that at that time. And I was just like, man, that's like something I rarely had back then. You know, so having that was actually a really big thing in me. So, yeah, that was like one of my biggest regret decisions is not really committing to that.
Yeah, that's
a
a big one. I
that's
feel
a
like that's
deeper one.
happened. Yeah, I feel like that's happened to a lot of guys in
Oh, yeah.
high school, especially, where they kind of like just didn't pursue or when you're in junior high school or when you're in high school, you don't have the mental. You're not mentally mature enough for
Yeah.
obvious reasons.
You haven't,
you're a
like-
teenager, and
Yeah.
so you don't know what girls want, or you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know the right methods to
Yeah.
try to like get at the girls in a respectful manner
Because
or in an effective manner.
it's also just like what I said earlier. Like looking at that situation. Like say that situation happened recently, like now. You with the knowledge that you have now in this like current.
Oh,
time
it would have
period,
been different.
It would have been 100% different.
Didn't Jacob say something similar
I think
happened to
he
him
did,
when
yeah.
he kind of like got mad at those group of girls, and then at that point on, they kind of
Yeah.
hated him for a while or something?
Something like that. Yeah,
Because he said he would like tease elementary, middle, junior high school
Yeah.
boy type thing, like you
Yeah.
said, macho man. I'm gonna tease these girls, and they were like messing with him one time, and they said something. And he said he yelled at him or something, or said something like really mean, like
He said-
y'all are going to
No, yeah, he said
going
you're
to
going to
hell."
hell. You're going to hell.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said something like that to him, and at that point, like they hated him for a while, and then
Yeah.
It's coming from Jacob too. That's surprising. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
yeah, that's something that I was saying because I feel like that's happened a lot. Like that's happened to me. Probably not. It's not that deep, but
yeah,
like there have been girls I talked to like in the 8th grade that I didn't know at the time liked me, but when I did learn, it was too late. But at this point, we both know. But it's like it was high school, so it was like
Yeah, it was
oh
different.
well, we're kids. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
both.
it was a
understand.
different atmosphere, a different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those were definitely that was my biggest regret decision. I would honestly slap the shit out of myself.
Not a bad one. I kind of want to slap the shit out of you too for saying that to us. But thank you for sharing.
I feel like
that was one of the better ones. we
No
got.
Yeah, that's one
problem.
of the deeper and better ones that we've
Yeah.
done so far. Yeah, I mean, the only I can't really think of any other one that was deeper than that, but I don't know.
Well, Chris, I think that will really do it for your guest spot on the episode. You did a
good job,
my man. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to leave the audience with before we leave? Any out of here? Like anything you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to promote, but you can leave them a final message.
Yeah,
or something.
any final message or like any last minute like thoughts or anything like that. Just anything. The floor is yours.
Floor
The
is yours,
spotlight's
my
on
friend.
you.
Okay.
The mic is in front of you. It is on you.
All right. I don't know if y'all watch. Well, there's two. Oh no, I'm gonna have to pick one. I don't know if y'all watch wrestling.
I watch
up
wrestling.
to now. You keep it
Semi.
up to right now.
Very slightly. I have a friend that's obsessed with it, and he kind of got me into it. But I
Do you
pick it
watch
up.
AEW?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
I know the atmosphere of AEW. I just don't watch it week to week.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same. I know. I kind of don't love it.
I watch Raw and SmackDown week to week, but I watch the highlights.
All I'm gonna say is the Acclaim.
The
Scissor
Acclaim.
me.
What?
Kenny Omega?
No.
Oh.
Did you just ask for a pro wrestling to scissor you?
no. It's definitely.
Oh, that's his sign. Is that his sign?
Yeah, it's like they
I thought he was. I thought he was asking.
wrestling outsider here.
I thought he was asking somebody to like come over and sit. I was like,
Fine, if we're gonna take it to WWE too, if you wanna add that too, I can be like, hey.
Now that I can get behind.
Yeah, see, he knows that one.
Now that I can
what
get
is that?
behind.
Why do I feel like I know that?
Acknowledge me.
It's not in here, but like.
I'm blanking.
Anyway, while Aaron is confused, we will catch him up and we'll beat some sense into him.
Yeah.
With that being said, guys, this has been the Confident Lost Podcast. We've had our amazing guest Chris here. I've been DeMonte Jameson.
I'm Aaron Kraft.
And I'm Christopher Cardenas.
And we will see you next time.
Y'all stay
Peace
safe.
out.